All right, let's talk about a holiday staple that's about to get a serious upgrade. If your only experience with cranberry sauce is that jelly-like cylinder that slides out of a can, well, you are in for a treat. Because we're gonna show you just how ridiculously easy it is to make it from scratch. And I'm telling you, you'll never go back.
Look, this is a pretty bold claim, right? But honestly, it's not an exaggeration. The difference between homemade and canned is it's night and day. It really does put that canned stuff to shame.
So let's get real for a second. That canned sauce, it's often just one-note sweet, and it has that jiggly, gelatinous texture. But homemade? Oh man, it's a whole different world. It's vibrant, it's fresh, and you get to decide if you want it smooth or a little chunky. It's not just some side dish, it becomes your signature dish. Now here's the best part. This isn't some complicated 30-step recipe. The magic starts with a foundation that is so simple, so non-intimidating, literally anyone can do it. That's the magic number, 3. The entire core recipe is built on just 3 simple ingredients. Seriously, that's it. It's probably the easiest way to make a huge impact at your next holiday meal. And here they are. You need a 12-ounce bag of fresh cranberries, 1 cup of sugar, and a half a cup of water. That is your entire shopping list for the base. Couldn't be more straightforward, right? So, you've got your 3 ingredients. Now how do we turn this into that amazing sauce? Well, the process is just as easy as the ingredient list. We're talking minutes, not hours. The whole method really comes down to these 4 simple steps. First, you're gonna rinse those cranberries and just quickly pick through them. Toss out any that look a little soft or squishy. Then, step 2, you just combine everything in a pot. The cranberries, the sugar, the water, all in. Turn the heat to medium. Step 3 is the fun part. You just let it simmer until you start to hear the cranberries popping. That's the magic signal that tells you they're ready. Turn off the heat, and finally, step 4, you blend it. You can use an immersion blender right in the pot, or transfer it to a regular one. Go for a super smooth texture, or leave some chunks in there for a more rustic feel. The choice is totally yours. And that's it! And once it's done, you've got options. Now, the chef behind this recipe actually loves to serve it warm, right off the stove. But you can absolutely go the classic route, pop it in a bowl, and let it chill in the fridge. Both ways are absolutely delicious. Okay, so you've got the base recipe down. It's fantastic on its own, but this is where things get really fun. Let's talk about how you can take that simple foundation and make it something that is 100% you. I mean, that's the whole point, isn't it? The base recipe is your canvas. But how do you start painting your own masterpiece without having to look up a whole new recipe every single time? Well, here's the secret. It's not about learning a dozen new recipes. It's about making one simple swap. You can create a totally new flavor just by changing out the liquid, switching up the sugar, or adding a pinch of your favorite spice. Let's start with the first lever you can pull, the liquid. Instead of water, what if you used orange juice? You get this amazing, bright, citrusy flavor. Apple juice gives it a nice, mellow sweetness. And if you're feeling a little fancy, a splash of red wine adds this incredible depth. Okay, lever number 2, the sugar. White sugar is great, it's clean. But if you swap some or all of it for brown sugar, you get these warm, rich molasses notes. A really great move is to do a half and a half mix. You kind of get the best of both worlds.
And the third lever, this is where you can really let your personality shine. Adding flavor. A little ground ginger, some cinnamon and nutmeg. That gives you that classic, cozy holiday vibe. But hey, who says cranberry sauce has to be sweet? Throw in some minced jalapeño for a fresh kick, or some chipotle pepper for a smoky heat. Game changer. So let's put it all together. Here's a perfect example. You take the base cranberries, you swap the water for orange juice, you split the sugar, half white, half brown, and then you add a little half teaspoon of ground ginger. Boom! Just like that, you've invented a delicious cran orange ginger sauce. See how easy that is? So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that you are in charge. This is all about giving you the freedom to play in the kitchen and make the rules yourself. It really is that simple. You just start with that foolproof 3-ingredient base, then you make one little swap. Change the liquid, tweak the sugar, add a spice, and just like that, you've gone from following a recipe to creating your very own signature dish. So that's the real question I want to leave you with. What's your signature sauce gonna be? Are you gonna go for that classic orange cinnamon vibe? Or maybe a spicy cranberry jalapeno? Or something with red wine and a hint of nutmeg? The possibilities are pretty much endless.